Let us now proceed to the last lesson in our module, Lesson 11, entitled Independence and Initial Problems of a State. This will be the learning objective of this lesson: to analyze the early challenges which the Third Philippine Republic faced upon its inauguration. The Philippines gained its independence from the United States on July 4, 1946. The ceremony, which was held in Luneta, was attended by thousands of Filipino spectators along with U.S. dignitaries, including General Douglas MacArthur, Senator Millard Tydings, and former Governor General Francis Burton Harrison. President Harry S. Truman's proclamation withdrawing the American sovereignty over the Philippines and recognizing its independence was read by U.S. High Commissioner Paul V. McNutt. Afterwards, Manuel Rojas and Elpidio Quirino were sworn in as the President and Vice President of the new Republic. Among the main difficulties which the new republic faced was the challenge of rebuilding what was destroyed after the Second World War. Rebuilding in this case does not only involve infrastructures like buildings, roads, and bridges, but also the rebuilding of shattered lives and economic activities. Hunger and unemployment level soared. It was estimated that the war caused an estimated loss of $800 million. With the huge losses incurred due to the hostilities caused by the war, the Philippines sought the financial assistance of the United States. Upon the recommendation of Senator Millard Tydings, who went to assess the post-war condition of the Philippines on May 23, 1945, the U.S. Congress voted for the financial aid of $120 million for the rehabilitation of damaged public buildings, roads, and bridges, and another $400 million was appropriated for the purpose of paying compensation to war damage claims. This is apart from the surplus of U.S. military assets assessed to be $1 billion but was sold to a sale price of $100 million. However, the total amount of financial aid given by the United States was not enough to compensate the enormous havoc experienced by the Philippines after the war. Due to this, the Philippines entered into a loan agreement with the United States Reconstruction and Finance Corporation, wherein a loan worth $60 million was granted to the country. Stimulating the Philippine economy was also a challenge. That is why the passage of the Philippine Trade Act of 1946, also referred to as the Bell Trade Act, was important to develop Philippine commerce and is considered to be a twin law of the Philippine Rehabilitation Act. However, this Bell Trade Act, which was set to take effect for 28 years from January 1, 1946 until June 3, 1974, became too controversial due to the inclusion of the Parity Rights Amendment, which required the amendment of the Constitution of the Philippines to grant U.S. citizens the equal rights with Filipinos in harnessing Philippine natural resources and in the operation of public utilities. Other than that, the Bell Trade Act pegged the exchange rate of Philippine peso to the US dollar at a rate of 2 to 1 and set quotas on Philippine exports. Apart from that, a free trade between the two countries shall take effect for 8 years. However, by 1954, gradual application of tariffs shall be implemented until full tariff price shall be placed to Philippine exports by 1974. Although unequal, the Philippine legislature was left without a choice, as it badly needed financial capital to stand again on its foot. In exchange to the passage of the Parity Amendment, the American government shall pay $800 million in war damage claims. Another issue was the rise of communism in the countryside. As the start of the Cold War swept and divided the world into two opposing ideologies, capitalism and communism, the Philippines was once again put into limbo. After the war, the communists were able to win seats in the Philippine Congress with Jesus Lava and Luis Taruc as their representatives. However, they were not able to assume their position as they were blocked by the government to sit in Congress. Tensions soon rise between the Hooks and the government forces and was escalated with the murder of Juan Feleo, a member of the Democratic Alliance. The Rojas administration soon outlawed the Hooks and other left-leaning organizations. This escalation led to the waging of war by the Hooks, who changed their name to become the Hukbong Mapagpalaya ng Bayan or the HMB against the government.